This is what people see when they come into your work environment. Above the surface, they can see the work environment. What does the building look like? What is on people's desks? Does the CEO have a closed off office? Or like the box CEO, is he sitting out in the middle of his people with a big open workspace like everyone else? Below the surface, though, are the attitudes, beliefs, and values, and the identity of the organization and its underlying purpose that drives this behavior. And you might think about it like this. What are the stories that you tell the newly hired person the first week that they join your company? What do you tell them about what it's like to work there? That is the best indicator of the real culture of a company that I've seen. Because just looking at the behaviors, it's hard to discern what is driving that behavior. And then when you have a merger or an acquisition, now you have two different companies trying to work together. And on the surface, they might be similar in behavior, but underlying values, attitudes, beliefs, and their sense of identity might be quite different. Try to imagine a company like Disney merging with a company like Oracle. I mean, it's a completely different kind of work, completely different value systems and what is probably the normal corporate behavior. So you can imagine what it's like whenever any two companies try to merge. And if you have ever tried to work even with somebody from a different office of your own company, you can find so many differences in how people behave and what drives that behavior. I like to say experience drives beliefs, and beliefs drive behavior, and that behavior is what produces our business results.
This is an interesting way of putting this. I have not heard about the iceberg model for organizational cultures before. This is quite interesting.
Well, let me just give you a little different model because the iceberg model makes it look like we're disconnected, but I really like the island model better. I was in Hawaii last month, and anyone who's been to Hawaii, you know there are many different islands, and above the ocean it looks like they're separate. But if you look below the water, all of these islands are connected. They're not just floating out there. And I honestly believe that the island model gives us hope for the future of our Frankenstein organizations. And let me show you what I mean. Above the water level, we have the observable behaviors, the language, the artifacts, as my mentor, Dr. Edgar Schein, calls them, the things that you can look around and see that are evidence of the culture beneath the surface. And beneath the surface, there are things that are different. But if you drill down deep enough, you get to the shared foundation of human beingness. And that's where I think there's an opportunity to find something in common, regardless of how different your different departments or divisions or entities are. There are some common human issues that can unite us. And let me give you some examples of that. People have different food and music practices, of course, in different cultures, different language. And underneath of that, they have different biases or work ethics or social practices. But if you dig down deep enough, what people want, they want a sense of purpose. And it's not enough to just be going to work to make money. The reason we have only 10% people engaged in their work all over the world is in large part because of lack of a sense of purpose. And they also are afraid of failure. And they want to be appreciated for who they are. They want to feel significant, competent, important. So if we can reach down to that level, we get to the point where NASA was in the 1960s, where the person sweeping the floor at NASA, the janitor sweeping the floor, he thought his job was to help to put a man on the moon, not to just clean the floor. And that's where we want to work when we're trying to create healthy, dynamic organizational cultures that will bring your team together and build a truly cohesive team, not just a bunch of disgruntled workers coming to work to earn money to pay their bills.